Hello and welcome. My name is Amanda and this is my channel, Her Pacific Northwest Washington Life, and today we are kicking off the week 39 reading vlog. So as you know, if you have been keeping up with my vlogs, the month of September I am participating in 2 month-long readathons and one 3-month-long reading challenge that started September. So just to bring you up to speed on what I have left for each readathon, the first I'm participating in is the Roll the Dice Readathon, which was created by Paige over at Paige Nicole. She has a Facebook book club group that I've been a part of for about 2 years now, called the Creating and Co. Media and Book Club. We just changed the title to add in so that people can talk about like TV shows and movies and things like that they're watching. But I have that link down in the description box below. I've always got that linked if you want to check it out. So the Roll the Dice Readathon was originally supposed to be a week-long readathon for the last full week of August, but because I was finishing up the NEWTs, I wanted to be able to like actually give the Roll the Dice Readathon my attention, so I decided to make it a month-long thing. And I have completed 5 out of 12 prompts so far, and I've got another book that I will finish up today. So I will be halfway done with this by the end of today. So just to let you know the prompts I have left for that, I've got Purple on the Cover, A Book a Friend Loves, Non-Human Characters is The Last Olympian, a graphic novel, a book set in Vegas, booktube or bookstagram recommendation, and start a series. I've been saying from the beginning that I don't need to start any new series, so this for me is going to be the only like exception I have to this readathon, and I'm either going to continue a series or finish a series, just because that's one of my big goals for 2020 is to get some series completed. So then for Horcruxathon, which is another Facebook reading group that I'm a part of. This is created by, the group is called Harry Potter and the Order of the Planners, Flourish and Blots, which I don't know if, I will add that to my description box now that I'm thinking about it. So this one is a readathon surrounding the Horcruxes, so you have a reading prompt for all 7, plus a bonus 8 for Professor Quirrell. So I have finished 5 out of 8, so I've got 3 left. I've got Marvolo Gaunt's Ring, which is a book with a home or dwelling on the cover, Helga Hufflepuff's Cup, which is a book that features a heist, which maybe not. Never mind. And then I have Nagini, which is the group read Serpent and Dove, which I'm not going to be reading, because that starts a series that seems interesting, but I'm not super keen on joining in. As far as I know, The Last Olympian doesn't fit well. No, it's got the Empire State Building on it, but that's not a home. It might, I don't know if it features a heist or not. I don't know if, I don't think it does. So then for the Fall Into Reading Challenge, this is a challenge that was created by Tia and All the Books, and she's got quite a few other booktubers that are helping her with this. So what she has done is created a bingo board that either you can choose the 15 square bingo board or the 24 square bingo board, and because this is over 3 months, I chose the 24 because if you break it down, that's 8 books a month, and that's totally doable for me. But we have the bingo board. I'll just show you my spread that looks like this. So all 24 prompts, there are 3 group reads, 1 for each month, and then there's a weekly photo challenge as well that I'm participating in. So there are some prompts that I'm saving more towards October, but other than that, basically the books I have picked for Horcruxathon and the Roll the Dice Readathon, I'm trying to prioritize those books this month, obviously, because those readathons will be done at the end of this month. So any books that I have overlapping, into the Fall Into Reading Challenge I'm marking off. So far I've read 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 out of 24. I have 2 books that I've read on top of that once we get towards the end, if I find prompts that I didn't get to read the books I had selected for those, I will see if these 2 books, and the list will probably continue, fit into any of the prompts that I still have left to complete. The Last Olympian does work for this, so it's going to be a sequel for me. So knowing that I am going to be done with The Last Olympian today, which is my current audiobook, I'm starting a physical book called The Mermaid and the Strongman by Kathleen Shoup, which is the second book in the Denora Chronicles series. I think I'm going to roll the dice and see if the Strongman and the Mermaid can fit in anywhere in the Roll the Dice Readathon. If not, maybe that could potentially be my next audiobook or a physical book I can read alongside the Strongman and the Mermaid, because that is a buddy read I'm doing with my friend Rainy over at the channel Rainy Day Reads, and she is one of the co-hosts for the Fall Into Reading Challenge. So I think here in a little bit I'm going to roll the dice and see what happens. Hopefully it works out in my favor, though I don't really know what favor I need from the dice at this moment. I guess either one works. What I'm really hoping for is it'll land on the graphic novel or another audiobook, since I'll need one of those next anyway, but we shall see. So I'm gonna get back to listening to the last Olympian, and then here in a little bit we will roll the dice together and pick a book for the prompt. Well, not pick a book because I've already got all the books written out, but see what prompt it lands on, and I'll let you know what book I plan to read. So I will check in here soon. This is going to be roll number 6. We get a 1. Alright, so I just rolled the dice and got number 1. And the prompt for that is to read a book with a purple cover. So I am picking The Color Purple by Alice Walker because you've got purple flowers on it. There's also this text up here is purple that you can't see very well. So I am going to listen to this via audiobook since I'm already going to have a physical book going. And I don't think I can use the Strongman and the Mermaid for anything for the Roll the Dice reading prompt. It's not a friend love, it's not a graphic novel, it's not set in Vegas, and I've never seen it talked about on BookTube or Bookstagram, and it could continue a series. But I'm not gonna worry about rolling anything for that. I'll just fit it in where it fits in for the other readathons, or just add it as an extra for the Fall Into Reading Challenge. But I am going to, oh, no. I did get started listening to this already. I was gonna listen to it regardless of whether I landed on that dice or not, and it just conveniently happened that I did, because one of the Pop Sugar challenges for this year is to read a banned book during Banned Book Week, which is actually this week. And I was looking at a list, and I think I pulled like a top 100 banned book list or something, and The Color Purple was on there. So it's perfect that I'm able to read it this week so I can knock out multiple prompts with one book. But I finished The Last Olympian, which is why I'm picking up another audiobook. So I liked the conclusion to the story. I'm giving it a 3-star rating. I don't typically rate middle grades very high just because I'm not the target audience, and they get a little repetitive and redundant, and just they're not like super enjoyable for me. But I am glad that I finally got to read this series and experience it. I'm glad that one day maybe Maddie will read it and maybe get more out of it than I did, because it'll be more geared towards his age. But I did enjoy finishing this off. I'm feeling pretty accomplished because last week I finished the Ascari trilogy, And then this week I finished the Percy Jackson and the Olympians trilogy. It'd be a quintet because there's 5 books, right? So 2 series that I started in 2020 that I've been able to finish this year as well, which feels really awesome. I don't know why you're being grumpy, but you need to stop. So I'm gonna go put this back in the box set and continue on with my reading. I don't know a whole lot about the color purple. I think I bought it last year, and I know there was a reason why I bought it, but I can't recall what that was. But I know it is, it actually might have been for a prompt for a book that had a color in the title. I think that's why I bought it. And just knowing this is a modern classic, I figured I would give it a go. So once I know a little bit more about what's going on, I will definitely check in and keep you posted. This sleepy guy has brought me in 4 toys. 3 toys. I can totally count. Are you hiding any more under you? Do you want to listen to me play the violin? Don't look so curious. I know you don't want to.
Mulder, what this folder describes is called lycanthropy. It's a type of insanity in which an individual believes that he can turn into a wolf. I mean, no one can physically change into an animal.
This says Washington State.
Right here, look.
Did you make it?
I'm trying to show it to you.
I know what it is.
It's a sty.
Where you going, Ronan?
Garbage press.
I finished The Color Purple yesterday. Didn't like it. I really hated the beginning of this book. I didn't enjoy the content. I didn't really like the writing style. Like normally, letters and things like that don't really bother me in writing. I actually kind of like that because it makes the story go a lot quicker. But I think it was just how these were written. And the story didn't start off with how I was expecting it to. So I expected a much different story, kind of. And it took about a third of the way before it got to that point. So it was a little confusing to me about what the story was even about and what the intention was and things like that. So I'm giving it a 2-star rating, but it did mark off a prompt for each and every readathon and challenge that I'm working on, as well as the Pop Sugar Readathon. So this was purple on the cover for Roll the Dice. It was a book featuring a house or dwelling on the cover for the Horcruxathon, and then it was an author of color read for the Fall Into Reading Challenge. And then as far as the Pop Sugar Challenge, this week is Banned Book Week, and one of the prompts for 2020 was to read a banned book during Banned Book Week. So I searched a list and already own this, and it was already on my other readathon, so we listened to it, and I didn't like it, so I'm going to be getting rid of that. So I did just roll the dice again. I will insert the footage now. Alright, this is going to be roll number 7 for prompt book number 8, because I already read a book for a prompt that I didn't roll for. So let's see what it is. 3. So as you saw, landed on the number 3, which is to read a book that your friend loves. And for this, I am reading The Wicked Deep by Shea Earnshaw. I believe this was her debut novel. And then last year she came out with Winterwood, and I read Winterwood at the beginning of the year. because it was a wintry book, and I knew that The Wicked Deep I wanted to kind of read around the spooky season, but also the tail end of summer, because I think this takes place during the tail end of summer. But the cover is just like very spooky and witchy, so I actually think underneath it's got, yeah, it does, it's got more moons and stars, so it's just a gorgeous cover. But this is a book that quite a few of my reading friends really do love, one of them being my friend Darshell over at the channel Books and Planners. I also know Paige, who is the owner of the Creating and Co. book club and shop and all of that, really love this. I know this was our group read last year or the year before. I think the year before for the RIP Readathon, and a lot of people really enjoyed this. So that's where it fits for me. It doesn't fit in for the Horcruxathon because all I have left are The Cup, which is a book that features a heist, and Nagini, which is the group read in the Harry Potter and the Order of the Planners Facebook group, which is Serpent and Dove. So that doesn't work, but it does work for a standalone for the Fall Into Reading Challenge. So I will probably be reading this a little slowly because I am also reading The Strongman and the Mermaid on my Kindle, and then this will be a physical read. But it looks like the chapters are fairly short, so I'll be able to read a couple sections and switch. The Strongman and the Mermaid's going really well. It also has kind of short chapters, and I'm liking where the story is going so far. I think I like it better than After the Fog, which is the first book in the Denora collection by Kathleen Choup. This I'm buddy reading with my friend Rainey, who actually lives near the town of Denora, and when we read After the Fog, she took a trip down to see what the town was like. She's a Pennsylvania native, so she has been feeding me facts and information and stuff about the Pittsburgh area while we've been reading, and it's been a lot of fun. It's definitely been adding to the reading experience for sure. So hopefully next book or next couple of books we pick up, they can be more Washington centered so that I can give her facts in return. But I'm enjoying it. It's interesting with how it's going. It starts out in 2019. We follow this grandpa named Patrick, who then starts sharing with his granddaughter and I think great-grandson a scrapbook, but it's not a scrapbook, it's more like a memory book that I believe his wife and his sister put together about this couple named Mary and Lucas, who are the parents of some famous baseball player whose name I'm blanking on. But and then the story goes back in time to tell the story of Lucas and Mary. Starts out with Mary and Denora when she's around the age of 14, I want to say, and her family's from the Czech Republic. I think her parents are from the Czech Republic. So I think she's first generation American. So she just growing up and living in this mill town, having to help pay for food and keep the house going and things like that. She was pulled out of school. Her younger siblings are still in school, so Mary's expected to be the one to do all the chores around the house and things like that. And then Lucas is currently in Poland. And he is trying to get to America because it has been advertised to him that this town of Denora will provide a lot of wealth and opportunities for people willing to work hard. So he is attempting to get passage on a ship to go from Poland to Pennsylvania. So that's where I am reading wise right now. I've got 2 physical books going. The Strongman and the Mermaid on my Kindle, and then I will start tonight The Wicked Deep as a physical book, and then I am going to pick up an audiobook. I don't want to roll the dice again, so this is for a prompt for the Roll the Dice Readathon, but because I don't want to stack up physical books, I'm just going to pick an audiobook to read, and I'm going to pick up Skyward by Brandon Sanderson, which is for the prompt of starting a series. Again, it doesn't work for Horcruxathon, but it does work for Fall into Reading Challenge as a sci-fi. So those are my reading plans for right now. It is raining and dark. You probably can't tell because I'm sitting in front of a window. But it's just a gorgeous fall day because it's finally fall. Oh my goodness, I'm so happy. It's also my 7-year work anniversary, which is crazy. But basically all I want to do is snuggle up in sweatshirts and blankets. I've got my heating pad on to keep my back warm. I've got a dog by my side snuggling up. So I just really want to snuggle on the couch and watch X-Files or something like that. But alas, we have to work. So that's what I'm going to get back to right now. And if I have any other updates to share with you, I will do that at some point. I'm not sure if you can hear it, but it's raining super hard right now and I love it. I saw one flash of lightning, or at least I saw the sky light up, and then I heard thunder, but it hasn't happened since. So I don't know if it's going to continue to, but looks like we've got a big nasty gray cloud just dumping over us right now, which is really nice. The only thing that would make this better is if I were off work and snuggled on the couch with my dogs. But I wanted to give a quick update on how Skyward is going, because I am probably halfway through the book now and it's going really quickly. I really wasn't liking Spensa at first. She was just one of those, like, I felt like she played the victim card a little too much, and she just really got on my nerves with how, like, she wouldn't listen to her flight leader because she didn't like him. But at the same time, it's like, you have someone in charge regardless of whether you like them or not. Like, you need to show them some amount of respect and listen to their commands because they were put in charge and not you. So, like, kind of suck it up and just do it. I know she's only like 17, but at the same time, like, be an adult about it, because, you know, you're not always going to work with people that you enjoy. But she's starting to grow on me a little bit more. This story is reminding me a lot of Ender's Game, and I don't think Brandon Sanderson would do the same thing as Orson Scott Card did in Ender's Game, but you've got these kids in flight school who are essentially learning how to protect the planet from these things called the Skrell, which nobody really knows what they look like. No one has ever seen one, even when they've shot down one of the enemy's planes. All they can see are like the weird armor and things like that that the Skrell use. So it makes me feel a little bit like Ender's Game and what's going on. So I don't know 100% like where this is going, but I do think it's a lot of fun just kind of seeing the character relationships and dynamics and things like that. You've got some interesting characters, like the, what does she call it? Murder slug? I don't think that's it, but the slug critter that has kind of like adopted her in the M-Bot AI that's in a ship is really fun and quirky. So I'm enjoying this. It'll be interesting to see how it ends. I've got how much time left? I have 8 hours and 12 minutes left in this book. So I should definitely be able to finish this by tomorrow because I usually do clean on Fridays. I do like the vacuuming of the whole house and mopping and vacuum the couch of all the dog fur. So while I do that, I usually listen to an audiobook. So I'll be able to get a good chunk finished today and then should have it all finished up tomorrow. Other than that, my other two books are going well. I don't really have an update for The Wicked Deep. I only got a couple chapters in last night, and nothing really new has happened in The Strong Man and the Mermaid to give an update from what I initially knew from the beginning. So I am going to get back to work and enjoy this rain outside. I would show you, but my window faces my neighbors, and I don't really want to put like the street view or their houses or their cars out there, even though I know I can put like gray boxes, little block out important details like house numbers and license plate numbers. But also because it's been raining, the rain is like on my windows and it's not like rolling down or anything, so you can't really see outside of them on the screen to see the rain and what it's doing. But hopefully you can hear this if you enjoyed the sound of rain, and if I have any other updates I'll let you know at some point. What's he getting? Is that the treat cabinet? That's not where their leashes are anymore. That's not where they are either. Do you guys want to go for a walk? Do you want to go for a walk?
Okay. Yeah, you guys want to go for a walk? Or no? No, you don't want to go for a walk? Oh, you'll shake for anything. Run and sit. Kind of.
His head goes through the hole. Cool. And you walk to that side. Make sure it's not twisted. Okay. And then you do the same thing for the other side.
Ronan, you can't walk yet.
Make sure it's not twisted.
No, chill. Ugh. I can't walk, man.
You guys ready to go for a walk?
Ah! Can I walk in?
I've got some reading updates to give because Thursday was the last day I actually talked to you about any sorts of books. It's been kind of a busy weekend, but a really good weekend. We got Matty Boy Friday night, so just kind of hung out, watched, probably bunked, I think. And Saturday we had some errands to run. I had a girls' night with a couple of my girlfriends. And then today we had a couple more errands to run, and then the boys pretty much built Legos the rest of the day. And I decorated for fall, which I'll just plan to show you at the beginning of next week. I always get so lazy on the last day of the weekly vlog that I just don't want to show you what I did, and I'll just put it in next week's. So as far as reading goes, I finished Skyward today. I was planning to have it finished Friday, but ended up running out of time on Friday because I went over to the neighbor's house. She is selling Color Street, and I wanted to look at the pink shades she has, like the blush pink shades. And she had her second baby in July, so I've been trying to get in as many baby snuggles as possible to get my little baby fix. So I held him for like 2 hours while she did some housework and things like that. So I think it was a win-win for the both of us. But it means I didn't get to do my weekly chores like I normally would have. So I didn't get to finish Skyward while I was vacuuming or anything, but I did finish it today. I'm giving it a low 4-star rating. It took me a little bit to get into because I know I had told you that I didn't really care for Spencer at the beginning. She did grow on me quite a bit throughout the book, though. I thought the plot was a little slow, and it was a little bit kind of repetitive, but I guess when you're in flight school, your days kind of look pretty similar, so that kind of counts for the repetitiveness. But I really enjoyed the kind of character relationships and dynamics within it. I thought just the storyline was interesting. I thought where it ended off was really neat, and am looking forward to the rest of the series. I know book 2, I think it's called Starsight, is out, and on Goodreads there are 2 more untitled, so I don't know when books 3 and 4 are scheduled to come out, but I think I will keep up with the series and read it as books appear. But that was the started series for me. It was also a sci-fi for Fall Into Reading Challenge and didn't work for Horcruxathon. Other than that, I have still been reading. I've got a dog over here that's making this hard, but I've still been reading The Wicked Deep by Shay Earnshaw. I am on page 72. So I've got a bit more to go in that. I think this is like a 308-page book. So almost a third of the way. That's going really well. I like the story so far. I'm intrigued by it and definitely want to keep going. It's just difficult balancing 2 physical books at one time right now. So this is my second as I get further along in The Strongman and the Mermaid, which Rainey and I are both not keeping on top of our schedule. We never like built a complete schedule, but I think the plan was to read about 50 pages a day. And we're both a little bit behind. I think I'm almost 30% of the way through, so that's good, but still really enjoying that story. Just how it's unfolding. I really like the characters. I like to learn more about the town of Denora and just kind of the mixed population that was there. You've got families that are Irish, Polish, Czech, you've got Italians living there as well, so it's just a whole mix, and I think it's really intriguing to see how kind of like industrial towns like that worked, because this takes place in the 1910s, and just what everybody's dream was versus reality and things like that. So I think it's really, really neat to see. So, sorry. Still have to make my way through that. I started listening to the Cider House Rules by John Irving. This is a story I know because of the movie. I watched the movie when I was probably in my mid to late teens, and enjoyed it. So I decided to buy the book and read it. I haven't liked the audiobook narration. The recording just sounds a little like fuzzy and off and a little bit monotone. So I feel like it's more with the recording of it and not the reading or the narration of it. So I've been hesitant to pick up the audiobook, but I know that I'm just not reaching towards picking this up as a physical book. So the only way I'm really going to get through it this year, and I really wanted to before summer was out, would be by audiobook. So I just decided to go for it. And since it's not the first time I'm like hearing the story, it's kind of okay. So that's my audiobook. I'll have 3 books roll over from this week into next, 2 physical, well, 1 physical, 1 Kindle, and 1 audiobook. We went to Target today and I found this cover of The Starless Sea by Erin Morgenstern, and I wanted a paperback version of it because I have a paperback of The Night Circus, and I prefer paperbacks over hardbacks anyway. And I saw this cover, and I don't really like the US or the UK hardback cover. I don't think I've really seen the paperback cover, but I saw this and I was like, okay, I can kind of deal with that. It's not my favorite cover, but I think it looks a lot better than the like black background with the keys or the moths with the like two-tone, I don't know. I didn't really care for that. So I'll eventually pick this up, but I figured I'd get it while it was 20% off the cover price. But yeah, so I think that's gonna wrap it up for this week's vlog. I'll start next week's vlog by telling you what I have left in the 2 readathons, because next week, I think Wednesday is the last day of the month, will end both of my month-long readathons. Yes, Wednesday. So I'll tell you what I plan to get accomplished for the week, and then see where else we can get with the Fall Into Reading Challenge. I feel pretty good about that challenge because, like I told you, I'm doing the 24 prompt board over 3 months. So that's really 8 prompts per month. And I have hit today my 8th prompt of September. So I'm on track for that, which feels awesome. I've also got 2 books that didn't fit, that I didn't already have slated for a prompt, that could potentially fit into a prompt if I'm not able to get to the book that I had picked out. So overall, reading's going pretty well. I think I'm somewhere at like 8 or 10 books so far this month, which is great, considering I started school back up last month and also started a part-time job this month. So things are going well. But as always, I would just love to know what you read this week. If you're participating in any of these readathons or challenges, I would just love to know what you've been reading. If you're also excited for the upcoming spooky season and the fall season, the weather changes, all that good stuff. So if you feel so inclined, please do let me know down in the comments below, and I will chat with you there until my next video. Bye!